Imagine your favourite tabletop campaign, but swap the dungeon for sprawling battlefields, tight line formations, and cavalry charges that hit like a crit, all led by a wizard who's definitely rolling dice behind the screen. That's the Seer King by Chris Bunch, the first in a gritty trilogy with a distinctly Napoleonic flavour, minus the gunpowder, but full of big coats, banners, snapping in the wind, officers trying to keep their regiments in one piece. Then add in a mythology that's distinctly non-European. Sound interesting? Let's find out a little bit more about it. It was published in the 1990s and it reads like the best homebrew your forever DM ever ran. Except here the main character, Damastes, a newly commissioned cavalry officer when we first meet him, has to navigate political intrigue, military campaigns, and a leader whose grand plan may not quite be what it seems. The cavalry combat is a real standout. Bunch was ex-military, and you can feel it in the way he writes his characters, how units manoeuvre, the formations, and that moment before a charge when the whole world seems to hold its breath. In tabletop RPG terms, think multiple factions, all working at cross purposes, big set piece battles that could have been planned on a tabletop map, and progression that's more about influence and reputation than shiny loot drops. Magic exists, it's rare, but it's devastating. More save or die than spam fireball. All with a coherent logic system for the magic. Damastes himself is quite fun. He's an unreliable narrator, leaving out just enough to make you wonder if he's the hero or something else entirely. And it's not all action. Between battles there's diplomacy, betrayals, and the slow burn of a campaign that might not end the way you'd hoped. If your tastes run to non-stop dungeon crawls, this might feel more like a long intricate Pendragon campaign than a quick D&D 5e one. But if you want fantasy with a whiff of parade ground discipline, political machinations, and cavalry charges, well, this will have you itching to break out the miniatures. The Seer King is absolutely worth your time. And remember, it's just book one, 2 more await, and the stakes only get bigger from here. I should warn that there is an issue in that it has some very adult themes and language. Very adult. But it's a cracking read and I would absolutely recommend it to anybody. And a bonus mark if you can actually guess who Damastes is based on.